Have you been rejected time and time again because you don't have enough experience? Or are you not getting the interviews you want because you believe it's your resume, it's your LinkedIn, it's what you're selling overall, they're not buying. And you're wondering, what can I do to get more interviews? Well, we've talked about resumes in the past, but today we're going to talk all about LinkedIn and how to leverage LinkedIn in your job search. And we're going to cover a couple different things. I've got a lot of stuff loaded up that I'm going to show you over here in a second. And we're going to start by covering recruiters because I know that's one of the best places to start. But before we even do, if you want more content like this in the future, make sure to give this a thumbs up, hit the subscribe notification bell, and follow for some more content that dives deeper, even deeper, into your job search inside of your resume, your portfolio, interviews, preparation, negotiation, a ton of great stuff that I want you to be a part of. So if that intrigues you, don't forget to subscribe. Like I just said, we're going to start today with how to leverage LinkedIn in your job search by talking about recruiters. Specifically, when I talk about recruiters, I'm talking about how do we leverage LinkedIn to get access to more recruiters? Well, this is a really easy way right here. And what we're doing is we're going to reach out and leverage LinkedIn to focus on advanced search queries, where we're going to search for technical recruiter and we're hiring. Now, you'll see here, I left it in the general search for the second because I want you to know that you can also develop, as you see commonalities in your network, you can search for advanced queries through posts as well. But granted, we're going to focus on people, but that is a quick note. But now that you're here, you can even narrow this down to your location. So if I'm in the Bay Area, but let's see, I used to live in Boston. Let's go for Boston. And if we put that in the search results, now you're going to see I've got 39 people in my area that are hiring. You can even go to all the filters though and start searching what type of industry do you want these people to be in. So you're starting to see very quickly, okay, so I can leverage LinkedIn to just look for recruiters that are hiring, and I can go expand outside of my area. Yeah, it's really easy, just like this. Advanced search queries, technical recruiter, and we're hiring is the way to do it. Now, this is just one of a couple tips we got today. And there's one more I want to add about recruiters before we move on to the job search, leveraging LinkedIn for that. It's that just finding recruiters that are hiring and messaging them is one way to leverage the system, but also finding the jobs that have the recruiters in it is very important for you because that is another way to get in front of recruiters that are hiring, but have that specific job that if you find for juniors, you already know they're more than likely to engage with you. I'll tell you this, last time I opened up a job rec, and even technically most recently, a majority of all people that apply do not message my recruiters, period. And it blows my mind to think that, oh, everyone out here has this advice and everyone's messaging recruiters. No, they're really not. It's not the easiest thing to do. Cold emailing or cold reaching out doesn't always feel like the best thing to do. And even then, sometimes it's not always the best, but what we have to do is be able to put ourselves out there and give ourselves the best opportunity. So remember that 2 ways with recruiters. But now if you're wondering, because this is my great transition point into it, well, how do I find the recruiters on these job postings? How do I find the right job postings? Well, I'm glad you asked because I'm going to show you an advanced query right here that we're going to now share on the screen. So this is one of my favorite ways to utilize the job search to help people is, okay, you're tired of all the stuff you see, right? You're tired of the jobs that say intern. You're tired of the jobs that say senior, right? Well, what's really cool about these advanced queries and what you see on the screen now is we can build a search that says, hey, I want a job that says junior in it. Parentheses, double quotes around it means it has to be in there, the word junior. At the same time, and all uppercase, this is part of their syntax they're looking for, and then you can wrap the and. Inside this and, you notice I'm saying software engineer or full stack engineer or front end or back end. and I'm looking for multiple different names that could fall under what I'm looking for. And then I hit them with the not senior, not intern. You could get really advanced here on the end and say not parentheses senior and intern and SR for senior. There's a lot of things you can do. Here's a really cool thing about how you're leveraging now LinkedIn for your job search is when you start to see a commonality of bad jobs, look for keywords in them that you can source them out or siphon them out of the process with. Now, pay attention to your numbers, because if you do it and you only find 2 or 3 jobs in the 99, and then you make an update and you take out 20, well, double check how you did it. But advanced search queries right here with the job search, absolutely crucial way for you to leverage LinkedIn. And I highly encourage it because it'll save you a ton of time. Your profile and how many times it's been viewed is extremely important in what or how LinkedIn thinks about you. Who has viewed your profile and how many times lately is really insight into how much LinkedIn's helping you. So when we talk about how to leverage in your job search, you're going to see here, I'm going to pull up my profile, and you're going to see actually over August, I did a lot less engagement. I personally did a lot less content, did a lot of things are going on this time. But when you are actually engaging, doing more comments, doing more things on the platform, this is a way to leverage, are you doing what you need? What I find is you should be averaging at least 60 views per week for the baseline of any job hunter. Clearly, I know also I'm not a job hunter, so my chart is a little bit different, but this is where I just want to show and point out, this tells me how much you've engaged in doing a bunch of different things, because if you're using the platform effectively and you're leveraging it, you should be averaging only 60, and you should be around 900 views over the last 90 days. And if you can do that, you'll see a lot of organic outreach on LinkedIn's behalf that comes to you. This is just a small note to pay attention to that number, because it's directly correlated to everything you do. Now, the LinkedIn profile views, that's a nice little tidbit, but really, there's 2 places to dive in extremely deep in leveraging LinkedIn. And I'm going to show the page now. But one is search appearance, the search appearance page with what searchers do and what keywords your searchers used. Let's show that now. Now, keep in mind, right, my numbers are not meant to be a representation of what you should be expecting. But this number indicates what you have below is statistically significant enough. If you have at least over 100, you're going to start to see the data is actually meaningful, impactful. If your number's lower, this is kind of a direct correlation of the profile views. If your profile views aren't high, this number generally isn't that high. But with engagement, we're going to get to an engagement actually, which transitions into the next point about how to engage more. But if you're engaging and utilizing the platform, this data will populate. Now, I'm going to turn the keywords search off so we can see it up there. And this is what I want you to see. Because when you're leveraging LinkedIn for your job hunt and you want to know exactly how LinkedIn thinks about you, this is exactly how. Because LinkedIn gets paid a lot of money to sell you to the right recruiter at the right time, at the right place. So I'd be damned if they didn't know who you were, what you were about, or what type of people to recommend to you. And they also show you this information, which is phenomenal for you, because now you can start to understand, what do my searchers do? The numbers you need to be shooting for: 30 to 50% recruiters, 20 to 30% developers, which can make up to 80% of your audience. You'll never really get past that because you'll always get the random salespeople, business strategists, founders, people that are also coders, but they're just categorized as something else. This is eye-opening to your audience. If your audience is all messed up, also helps you're not attracting the right people. Or it tells me you're not attracting the right people because your resume is probably not built right, but this is the clear indicator of your resume, how you're selling stuff, and how everything's written. And what you'll find is this is harder to dial in, but if you have some really weird words on here, like your past jobs, like your past, well, I have an actual waiter story about a senior waiter. I've told this one before on live streams and other videos, so I won't bore you all with it in this video. But I found that it will pair a senior waiter job with a software engineer experience at a boot camp, and make you a senior software engineer. It's wild, it's crazy, but this will tell you here if it thinks you're a senior software engineer, or it'll tell you what it thinks you are and the keywords you're recommending. So if you find any keywords here and you find them and you don't know what to do, feel free to reach out or email me and message me about it. But this is where you're going to have to focus on it and find a way to cut it out or rephrase how you're saying it and make sure LinkedIn doesn't think you're something you're not based on how you're selling yourself. Now, as we get into this next transition point of what you have to do, which is engagement, there's one thing I want to say before we move over there because it's important. And that is what you saw there. If you don't have high enough recruiters, one of the easiest little hacks, and it's not even like a hack, it works really well. You just can't do it forever. If you want to up the number of audience to give LinkedIn another tell, like once you've optimized your profile and stuff, if you want LinkedIn to give you another shot to send more recruiters your way, if you just go connect with 100 recruiters a day for the next 2 weeks, that number will shoot up. You'll get more searches that are recruiters, and you'll see the type of words they're using to check against you. At the same time, then you can utilize the same strategy to go connect with other engineers. And so now you can get these two numbers up and get back technology focused with just connecting with people. Really, really easy way to get the numbers back in your favor. Because what's interesting here, and I've heard the opposite side, well, that's a waste of time. It's not, because you know why? If you can get LinkedIn for the next week or two to recommend more searches that are recruiters, it's a really organic and easy way to get more recruiters on your page just by connecting with other recruiters, because now they're going to recommend you, because when you connect with recruiters and recruiters come to your page and they stay on it even for just 10 seconds, LinkedIn will show you to another recruiter in the future. So really easy tactic there and way to leverage is just connecting with people. Now let's talk about the next thing, another way, because this comes back to my point about engagement. When we talk about engaging, it's easy, but you got to do these at least 25 engagements a day. But it's easy because all I need you to do is go like, comment, and share. And if you just want to like everything, that's fine. Like just go down the list and like a bunch of stuff. That's fine. I'd encourage you to like more of what's in your style, because LinkedIn will show you more of it. But when you comment and engage, it's going to drive more value and thoughtful conversation that will bring people back to your profile potentially. Now, the one post in there, I'm putting one post a day if you can. Realistically, just 3 times a week is great, but post something about your struggles, post something about your learning, post about your job hunt. This video is not meant to go in depth of how to actually do the posts. I'll do other videos on that, but it's to say to put something out there, because it's another extremely easy way with you just taking 20 minutes to write 10 lines, put it out there, and you might get 1 to 2 people that come to it. And I know from fact, working with students, that it's not the silver bullet for everybody, but it works for a lot of people and really does help out. And so as you see, if you're starting to do all these things we're starting to talk about, you see how you can really start to leverage the platform for what you want most. Now, let's talk about the inevitable, how to leverage LinkedIn is your profile. And what I want to show real quickly and talk about this with is your physical page. A couple things. Actually, really the one main thing in this video is you need to have your keywords in 6 different sections. And what do I mean by sections? So you have your header section. You can put keywords up here. At the same time, you have featured sections where you can post about the things you do most inside of maybe the MERN stack or JavaScript. At the same time, you've got the activity section. These two kind of, quote, align together, but you have your about section. This is a great place where you can talk a lot about your skills. You have your experiences. You can put keywords in your experiences. You have education sections where you can put the keywords again and talk about what you learned and put more keywords. You have skills and endorsements. You have recommendations. You have accomplishments. Inside accomplishments, you have projects. You can put projects and links to go click stuff. And then you can make sure you can join groups. Not necessarily have to have the exact keyword, but are based on what you want. So you can fill up in every section your profile with the keywords you want most. And then I say the keywords, the thing that you want to do next is what you should be selling the most. And that's what we're going after here. And that's just a quick to the point of optimizing the profile. There's lots of other videos on LinkedIn or on YouTube, on LinkedIn about how to optimize that. Is not what this one's about. So I'll stop it there and continue on to my last point, because the question you're probably asking at this point is, what keywords do I choose, Jason? How do I know which ones to choose? And you know what? I'm really glad you asked that question, because we need to do some keyword research. And this is one of the things that this is just time consuming, yes, but it's so valuable, because what I need you to do to leverage LinkedIn now is I need you to come search for Node.js versus Node.js with no space. At the same time, what happens if you put a .NET? You're going to notice that this looks like the other one, space dot, same thing. But at the same time, then, okay, if Node.js doesn't make a difference and it's 117,000, what's more important? Is it React? Or is it Node? Oh, well, damn, 117,000 compared to 62,000. Okay, all right, that's pretty, eye-opening. So when I think about my keywords, it's not like I can put every keyword under the sun. You generally got to pick about 4 to 5 keywords that are going to be everywhere throughout your resume, or not your resume, your LinkedIn. But then you can use LinkedIn to do keyword research and see, what's more useful here. Postgres, Node, React, what does my audience care about more? And this is a really easy way to also research, what do you want to call yourself? Do you want to call yourself a full stack engineer with 150,000 options out there? What happens if I take away the space? Well, damn, that just dropped off 100,000. Now, I realize you will want to take into account your experience level, but experience levels aside for the second, that's 100,000 jobs that just dropped off by switching names around. At the same time, if you call yourself like web developer, people seem to think this is pretty popular, but it's not popular as one would think as full stack engineer. At the same time, if people want to call them front end engineer, or you want to call yourself something different, just check the data. It's one of the most important things you can do to make sure you are on point with what LinkedIn values the most. And so throughout this video, as I sum this up, you're starting to see a ton of tips from how we can leverage recruiters, how we can use our job search, we can check on who's viewed, use the data in our favor to understand how to get better, make sure we're engaging with people posting content, we're optimizing our profile, making sure our keywords are around, and last but not least, then keyword researching to understand what does the platform care about most with what I want. And when we can start to do these things, you can start to see how you can understand where you drive value on this platform and how to get the most out of LinkedIn. Now, this is just the start. There's so much more inside of LinkedIn. So I encourage you to subscribe, like it. If you could right now, take the time to hit that like button. That'd be greatly appreciated. But subscribe for more of this in the future. And stay tuned, because there's lots of LinkedIn stuff coming out from our way. And we're going to show you even more than we did today in the near future. And until then, have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you all again soon.